Alrighty. Just gonna wait for. Hello. Welcome. So today is a little different because let's see. Debbie isn't here today. It's just me. Okay. So hold on one second. We're gonna figure this out. Okay. But yeah, hi, welcome to the show. Hi, Jasmina. Thank you for tuning in. So it's Mystery Monday. You know the rules. You've been here before, Jasmina. But Jasmina, I'm sorry if I say it incorrectly. Hi. How are you? How's your day? How's the beginning of your week? I'm just getting set up here. Hello, hello. Welcome to the show. Free psychic readings with just Matty today. Debbie's not here. It is Mystery Monday, okay? You must be 18 or older to receive a reading. We do not do medical or legal. Please do not put anybody else's personal information other than your own. If you do, we can't put it up on the screen. And there's no list. We do a random selection, so please submit your inquiries or your questions or your intention, and you may get randomly selected, okay? I hope everybody had a great weekend and a wonderful Father's Day. Hello, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. If you're new here, I just went over the rules. I'll go over them again shortly, but go ahead and post in the live chat. If you would like a free reading, you may get randomly selected. Jasmine says it was a Monday. Aren't they always? You know what, though? If we changed, I think it's just like a societal thing, because if we changed, Tuesday to the first day of the week, I think we'd all feel the same way about Tuesday. So we'd be like, oh, it's a Tuesday. But yeah, so Mondays have a bad rap, but they're not that bad, right? But hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. Thank you for tuning in. All right, I'm just getting set up here. It was a lovely day today. Well, Yasmina, I really appreciate you. Oh, look, Christine Miller, are you doing questions for stars? I'm not sure what you exactly mean by that, for stars. Could you please clarify? We do a free reading, and so you may get randomly selected if you just input into the chat your question, and you may get randomly selected to receive a free reading. Okay, please don't put anybody else's name other than your own or personal information other than your own. I can't put it up on the screen if you do. We don't do medical or legal, and you must be 18 or older to receive a reading. Teresa Diamond, hello. Thank you for joining. All right. Oh, today, I know it's not Friday, so it's like, what's in your cup, right? But I've got this wonderful pineapple aloe drink. It's so good. It's got these little chunks of aloe in it. Highly recommend if you've ever had these aloe drinks. So good. Christine, no, actually, I apologize. I believe that's a Facebook thing. I actually don't have a Facebook, so this is through Debbie's Facebook. But we do the show together. But no, there's no priority. So these are free, equal opportunity readings for everybody. So if even, we do accept donations, and the pay link, oh, I don't have it scrolling. Hold on. The pay link will be scrolling below very soon, but you're not obligated to pay. At the end of the day, these are free, and there's no sort of prioritization. It is a random selection because we want everybody to have a equal opportunity. Okay. Let me get this down here. Hold on one second. It's Mystery Monday. It's a mystery. Okay. Here we go. There's the pay link scrolling below. So if you're feeling inclined to do so, please do so. I do greatly appreciate it. However, again, free readings. Okay. So without further ado, welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us. Okay, I'm about set up here. So it looks like Teresa is the only one that's put a question in. Again, Christine, Miss Christine Miller, we do not do medical or legal. So it involving your attorney would be a legal question. Unfortunately, I can't advise on that. But if you want to go ahead and just write, am I going to get that job? Am I going to get this job that I'm thinking about, or this job that's on my mind, or this job that was presented to me or told to me? You can write it in that way, and then I can try and get to you. I understand he's your friend. It's just for our, how do you say? For conflict of interest reasons, we can't advise on anything like that. So just take the word attorney out of it, and then I can put it up, okay? But we're gonna start with Teresa. Hi, Teresa. So Teresa says, hello all. I would love a reading on my moving plans. I live in California and no longer can afford to remain. I'm applying for an apartment in Crestview, Florida, and wondering if this is the best. Okay, so I just want to say California's expensive as hell. I understand. I've even thought about, at times it was like, dang, this is, you know, you gotta be working. Yes, you gotta be working a lot to maintain in California. You got to be really well off, or you got to be working multiple jobs. Like, so that's just what it is. California and New York are like the most expensive states in the country, but yeah, it's just ridiculous. I was looking online one time and just like kind of perusing, and um I was looking at this like 3-bedroom house with a pool, and it had this like big rock garden thing, and it had this like partition fireplace living room to the kitchen, and it was, I think it was in like Missouri or something, but I was just like, and it was the same exact price as like a 2-bedroom apartment, in East LA. And I was just like, this is ridiculous. Like, so yeah, that's California for you. But all right, so Teresa, we're gonna see if if this is the best move for you. Crestview, Florida. Let's see. We'll also give you just like general guidance on the move. So for Teresa, I'm connecting with your energy. Just give me a moment. Hi, Carlos. Hi, Kelly. Hi, Linda. Welcome to the show. Debbie's not here today, so you stuck with me. All right, Teresa. Okay, so I'm going to try and, so I can get to as many people as possible today, I'm going to try and give the reading as I'm turning the cards, okay? So, you got the world here, Teresa. That is signifying an ending. So, I mean, it says it right in your message that you can no longer afford to stay here. So, yeah, this is the end of an era for you, the end of an experience. So it's time for a new chapter. That's the word I'm looking for, chapter. This is an end of a chapter for you. But there's also this air of going where you belong and going where you feel like you're welcomed and appreciated. So that's what the world card represents, and that tells me right then and there, this is a very straightforward answer. It does look like Crestview, Florida is a good move for you. Let's get some more information though. Temperance, that is peace, harmony, balance. Yeah, it does look like this helps stabilize your not only your mental, but your physical in regard to monetary, financial. So this does help bring harmony and more feeling of stability, and like you have it under control. Okay, so that's good. You do see peace after this. And it does look like the move is stressful, though. You got the Ten of Voices here, which is the same as the Ten of Swords. It does look like the move is going to be a little stressful for you. It's going to make you feel, I mean, like moving always is. And, I'm one of these people, I'm one of those people that's like, I'll say, like, oh, yeah, we got to move 2 bedrooms and a living room or whatever. It's like, Yeah, it's easy. We don't need that. Like, we could do it in however many hours. And it's like, no, no. No, it never works out like that. It's a lot more meticulous than you might think. If you've ever moved before, you know. But also, it's just funny how I tend to do that. I'm just like, no problem. And yeah, no, it's not so simple all the time. But it does look like it does stress you out a bit and cause. But again, it evens out and levels out once the move is over. And moving is always stressful. So you have this fear about it, though. So you have this like hope and this fear. You've got the Nine of Wands. That's the wounded warrior. It's like you're moving with hope and fear, hope and fear, hope and fear. You're hopeful for the good outcome for the future, but you also fear the worst. You fear that it's not the right thing to do. And you know what? That's a natural human experience. The fear of the unknown. I mean, why do you think people cling so hard to beliefs that I mean, there's facts against this thing, and people, but people are just die hard, like, you know, standing firm on it. So, it's because of this fear of the unknown. We all have it to some level. It's not maybe so present in some people as it is in others, but um, at some point in life, in some regard, we all experience this, the fear of the unknown. But what we need to embrace is the mystery, um, because I always say it like this: the universe, or if you believe in God, or if you whatever you believe in, higher power, or if you just simply believe in the universe, either way, it's infinite. It's infinite, and our little finite brain can't even fathom the possibilities of what could be. So when we say, "Oh, here's the goal," right? We see a goal, and I see path A and path B and path C. And that's the only way I can get to this goal. If I fail at A, B, and C, I will not reach this goal and I should just give up, right? That's sometimes how we think, right? But that's so flawed because we have such a limited perspective, and how dare us be so um, uh, ignorant and arrogant to say that we know more than the infinite universe, right? So we are the all seeing. We see the path A, path B, path C, and that's the only way. No, there's infinite possibilities, and it's possibilities that you can't even think of, because so the doubt you feel is because of your limited perception, because you can't see all the avenues. And if you stay in that energy, you will pass up open doors. So if you have this tunnel vision to this door at the end, right, and you're trying to get to that door, and you get these, you know, the racing horses, they got the blinders for the flies or something, or maybe it's for the other horses. Either way, um, if you're wearing that and you're looking at this door, well, all the doors opening on the side of you as you're passing them, you don't even see them because you're so focused on that one. Because you know what, you're so smart, you know it all, right? So be open to thinking outside the box, and be open to embracing the mystery and embracing the unknown, trusting in the process, letting go and letting God, if you believe in that sort of thing, or just, give it away to the universe, hand it away to the universe. It does look like it works out for you, okay? At the bottom of the deck, you've got the Four of Swords. It's the Four of Voices in this deck, but that means rest, rejuvenation, that you finally get a huge weight lifted off of you after this move, okay? And it feels great to you, okay? That's all I have for you this evening. All righty. So, if you're just joining us, this is Free Psychic Readings with Debbie and Maddie, but it's just Maddie tonight, and Debbie is on vacation. She's going to a wedding for her son-in-law. No, I'm sorry, it's her son, for her son, but either way, she's going to be in the bridal party, and so she's going to do all the fun wedding stuff and for the weekend, and I'm sure she's having a great time. But you stuck with me this evening, okay? If you're new here, we only do readings for if you're 18 or older. We don't do medical, we don't do legal, and we don't do any questions that involve somebody else's information. So don't put anybody else's information other than your own, okay? or I won't be able to put it up on the screen. Okay, so let's see. Oh, Teresa, I see. I no longer work and forced to retire because of COVID. I have no money and don't know how I can do this. I understand, Teresa, but it does look like you make that once you make the move, things get better for you. You might be able to find. I'm not sure exactly how it's going to go, but you might. I mean, who knows? You might meet somebody who's able to lend you a hand. You might fall into a situation where I mean, like I said, it's like things work out if you just let go and let God. Um, I would like to share a story. I don't want to ramble, but I mean, COVID was not a good thing by any means. So hear me when I say this. COVID, not a good thing. Global pandemic, not good, right? Like obviously. However, there was a time right before COVID where I had an apartment and I had a situation with a roommate that they left and they left me with the entire rent bill, and I couldn't keep up with it. I was working two jobs to try and keep up with it. I just wasn't able to pay for it. I thought I was going to lose my apartment. I couldn't find another roommate. I remember I was like, I'm going to be homeless. And like, I was like, this is crazy. And um, I just let go. And I was just like, you know what? I just know the universe is not going to let me fall. I just know something's going to happen. Something's got to give. Right. And I mean, again, I want to reiterate, by any means, I'm not saying COVID was a good thing. However, right after that, COVID hit, rent moratorium. We weren't required to pay. I was able to find a roommate. I mean, it just, the things are, are just moved. Mountains can be moved if you just truly give that faith and that belief. And I mean, that's part of what manifesting is. It's like, ask and you shall receive, right? But you got to believe it. And seeing is not believing. Believing turns into seeing. I mean, anybody you see get up on a stage and accept an award, and what do they say? Every single person, what do they say? I saw this. I've envisioned this. Visualization. And I mean, if we can imagine it, we can achieve it. So not everything is so far fetched. That's the conditioning that we've been, as a society, subjected to believe that we are so limited in our power. But you know, you gotta try and quell the doubt, Teresa. I do wish you the best. Let's see who else we got here. Okay. Let's see. Yolanda Espejo. Hello, I would like to know what is coming in for me. Let's see. Yolanda. Thank you so much, you guys, for joining, and thank you. Please share the show, by the way. Please share the show. Yeah, I have to remember all the things that Debbie says and try and keep up. Please do share the show. Invite a friend, a family member into here, and be sure to like on YouTube or on Facebook. Hit the thumbs up. It does greatly help us with the algorithm. It's how our show gets spread to other people. And please subscribe to our channels. It's youtube.com/@Matty Tarot and youtube.com/@Psychic Fixes. Okay? We greatly appreciate it. Yolanda, what's coming in for you? You've got the sun here. That is the happiest card in the deck. However, it's followed up by the devil. That doesn't necessarily mean all these bad things. The devil gets a bad rap. The devil can range anything from an addiction to something, and not even necessarily like a illegal substance or anything like that, or alcohol or even cigarettes, but it could be like an addiction to shopping, an addiction to gambling. It could be like an addiction to a person, an unhealthy addiction to a person, some sort of like unhealthy attachment. It could be poor behavioral qualities that you're fully aware of and that you're working on changing. The devil could show up and represent those, so it just really depends. But it does look like what's coming for you is you right when you feel like everything's going good and something is really happy, you're gonna get something's gonna rear its ugly head, and that's usually what happens, right? That's how it happens, because our problems follow us around, and we are presented with these things over and over and over again as there are opportunities to see and to learn and to extract and to grow and to observe and and take in that information and see what is this trying to teach me. So it does look like something rears its ugly head at a moment of happiness for you. It's really because this lesson or this wisdom has not been fully grasped by your psyche, your conscious yet. And it is going to present itself again, so you can maybe see it this time. And I'm not laughing. I'm not laughing at you. I'm please don't take it the wrong way. I'm just saying that's just how life goes sometimes. But it looks like this is surrounding some sort of celebration. The Four of Wands is here. Some sort of happy moment, celebration, family gathering, possibly even a wedding or some sort of party. This and this hurts you. This makes you kind of question things. It makes you it could be that you lose a friend. You got the Five of Pentacles here. It could be that you lose a friendship because of a bad argument at a party or something, or it could be that you're really happy with a person, with a partner, and some sort of while you think the next milestone is being reached, then suddenly they just switch up on you and walk away. Not it's not being specific here exactly what is going on here, but let's see. Hold on one second. I'm gonna pull a couple more cards for you. Okay, it says you're single. So this could be an argument with a friend, really. Again, it's not being specific. I'm just going to pull a couple more cards here. At the Five of Voices, there's Five of Swords, and the Three of Wands. Okay, so this is either a friend or a family member. But at some sort of gathering, time of celebration, you have this, maybe it's like a family member that just like their behavior, you just like they continue to have this behavior that just irks you, and it gives you the, what do they say nowadays, the ick. It gives you the ick or whatever. You There's a lot of resentment that's built from the interactions with this person, whether it's a friend, family member, or just a loose acquaintance. And you feel like they get in the way of things. And so what you're being asked right now, what's coming for you, is to see the lesson, to extend the grace, to not let somebody push your buttons. That's what's coming for you, to try and see that you have the power to remain in your peace and to remain in calm and in your truth, whether or not somebody's saying things about you that are untrue, or whether or not somebody is treating you poorly in a way that makes you feel like they're talking down to you or something. But and you shouldn't stick around for that and let that happen. But at the same time, you don't need to make it mean something about you, because I mean, how do I say this? Nothing's truly personal. Nothing's truly personal. I'll say it this way: the world is not happening to us. The world is just happening. Here it is. And then we are taking all that information and we are filtering it through this very unique, very specifically fine-tuned filter that is made up of all of our experiences, the emotions we feel, the relationships we have, all these things, right? And so we have this very unique filter, and we take all that information of the world happening and put it through this, and then we project it back out onto the world. And that's our perspective, right? And so I'll just say this: you have control over that and can stand in your peace. You don't need to make it mean something than what it simply does mean. And what it simply does mean is that that person's behavior and character. You know, that's a projection from them. They're projecting onto you. Now, this is not necessarily always the case. You can't always say if somebody says something like gives you some sort of criticism, you can't say, "Oh, they're projecting." You have to have discernment because, but at the same time, that's what this is saying here is that maybe you haven't even recognized it yet that a person projects onto you and it has built resentment in you, and you are kind of like maybe avoiding this person a bit, but you're really not having the words to describe all these feelings, and you're having this experience where you're distancing yourself from somebody subconsciously and you don't really want to continue. They make you a little uncomfortable or upset, and just know that if you're able to see through the like life is but a looking glass, right? So if you're able to see into the looking glass and see like what is this, how is this being, what is being mirrored back to me, what is what is trying to be shown, what is being shown to me, because a person who is awake and conscious and growing and spiritually ascending is aware that every person, every place, every experience is but a mirror, and the person who is asleep and is not growing and is unaware um, spends time yelling at the mirror and pointing at and blaming the mirror because they don't know it's a mirror. So just look at it that way and kind of see that what is this trying to show me? How can how can I witness and don't identify? How can I observe without absorbing? How can I remain in this? So here's the inner circle of it's like here's you, your calm, your truth. And then outside is like the things other people are doing, the things other people are saying, the thing, all the circumstances outside of our control. You have the power to remain in that center and observe the rest without letting it be. I don't know what just happened, but can y'all see me? What is happening? Am I going in and out? In and out. That's what a hamburger. Oh wait, I can't sing the slogan on here. They might sue me. I'm kidding. Anyway, sorry, I'm rambling. That's your lesson here right now. That's what you're supposed to try and see. Extend this person grace and be the light you want to see in the world. Um, People who act this way are acting out their own anger or their own pain. So underneath anger is pain. Underneath resentment is pain, right? Always. And underneath the pain is an unmet need. So if you really actually care about this person and you want to resolve things or you want to try and bridge the gap, try and get down to the bottom of what that need is. What is that? Why might a person be acting the way they're acting? Why would you maybe be a little bitter towards somebody? Oh, maybe there's some jealousy. Well, why would you be jealous? Oh, maybe they have low self-esteem. And then okay, why do they have low self-esteem? Well, maybe because I don't reach out to them and kind of make them feel included. Like enough, and they really would. So try and if you know this person well enough, but if it's not worth your time, it's not worth your time, and move on. Okay. But what you don't see coming is after this period, Two of Swords, after this period of like I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place, I don't really know what to do, I'm at a stalemate. You do find temperance, which is harmony, balance. You do find a solution that works for you. It's just a matter of time. You got to sometimes let things play out and take their course. Okay. That's all I have for you this evening. Hope it resonated. Okay. All right, y'all. Let's see. Kelsey Wells, can you please resubmit your question without um the person's name? I cannot put anybody else's name other than your own, or any personal information other than your own. So If you're still here, please resubmit and you may be randomly selected for a reading. Okay. Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining. I greatly appreciate you. Debbie's not here. I'm going to select the next person for a reading. Yolanda Espejo said, wow. Oh, I liked and subscribed and then said, wow. Thank you. Honestly, that's so touching. Thank you. That really means a lot to me. I'm gonna pick Dana Trisha. Hi, Dana. Welcome to the show. Would love a card, please. You can get a card and maybe more than one. Let's see. Yeah, please like and subscribe. Hit the thumbs up button. It throws it out to other people and tells other people about the show. And so, help us with growth in that way. And please also subscribe to the channel. Psychic Fixes, Matty Tarot. It's youtube.com/at Matty Tarot, youtube.com/at Psychic Fixes. Hit the notification bell. We're here every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Pacific Standard, 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Usually I have my lovely partner, Debbie, with me. However, she's out, at a wedding ceremony for a week in the bridal party. It's a lot of fun, I'm sure. And I hope she's having a good time. All right, so Dana Trisha, would love a card, please. The Seven of Swords came out. Oh, it's like the card I like the least. Because it means betrayal. Not always, though. It also means like self-sabotage. And so it does look like, and then the Knight of Cups came out here, which is like dating. So you may be in your dating life, you may not have fully realized it yet, or you may be on the precipice of this realization that you've been sabotaging your dating life, your love life. Have you ever considered that? Maybe you do. Maybe it's like a loose thing you consider because you hear it on the internet or like thrown around, and people are like, "Oh, self-sabotage," and people have made it this like, you know, niche, cute, trendy thing, right? But like, poking fun at it, like gosh, I'm sabotaging and trauma. Like, I don't know why people do that, but that I see people talking like that online sometimes, and I'm just like, oh my gosh. But no, self-sabotage, like when we actively work towards something but end up with the same outcome that we don't want and continually get that's self-sabotage. That's like, why aren't my relationships ever working? Why do my relationships always end up to the same destination? Why does it always go that way? Why is it always the same? And then we may at first think, oh well, if you date men, it's like, oh, all men suck, like, or all women are ungrateful or emotional or crazy. It's like we make these assumptions, these blanket statements. And whenever there's a blanket statement about anybody, it's probably not true, or it's most definitely not true. About any group of people, a blanket statement is like, it's not true. But either way, we might think that at first, but then when we start to realize that, oh, I'm the common denominator. Like, is every past person you've dated a narcissist, really? Narcissism, NPD is pretty rare, actually. So, you just got unlucky and you got 5 narcissists in a row. Like, no. I'm not saying this is you. This is a hypothetical, but no, it's more likely that there's something that you're bringing to the table, some sort of dynamic, that because you played 50% of that dynamic, right? There's something that you're doing. Maybe you're not standing up for yourself or setting boundaries or speaking up or communicating your needs, but it's typically, we're the common denominator if we continue to find ourselves in a situation that repeats itself. And it's a hard thing to hear, but I do want to say, you may be coming to this realization, or just about to, that you've been sabotaging your dating life. And let's see in what way. Okay, so it always comes crashing down in the same way. There's some sort of chaos that happens. destruction, and maybe it's like a burn it to the ground type thing, and maybe this is um this could be one of two things. It could be like a preemptive strike, like, oh, this person, you already like have thought and perceived this person's going to hurt you, so like you got to make sure you destroy it first so it doesn't actually, it's like a protective strategy of like, well, I'm just gonna like run it to the ground, because they're gonna like cheat on me anyway, or not, they're gonna leave me anyway, whatever it may be. um so it could be that, or it could be this overcompensating, to the point to where it's that you're not even actually seeing the person, because if you're like anticipating someone's needs, um for them without them communicating that to you, you're not actually present. And other people can pick up on this, if you're just so like, let's just say like you're so agreeable, it's like he's like, I like pizza, you're like, oh, I love pizza, pizza do that. And then he's like, what kind of pizza do you like? And then this is a stupid example, but just to make a point, well, what kind of pizza do you like? It's like, oh, I mean, I like all kinds of pizza. He's like, I like pepperoni. And she's like, I love pepperoni. I love pepperoni pizza. And he's like, well, actually, I mean, sausage is good too. And you're like, oh, I love sausage. So, you know what I mean? And over time, when you're just so willing and so just agreeable, and so it's like, where are you? Where's your personality? And other people can pick up on that, and it actually becomes a thing where, I mean, we do this on different levels. Sometimes it's not so drastic, but there's times where we just give and give and give endlessly, and we think we're a nice person. Oh, we're so nice. I'm just nice. I'm just so nice and kind. Uh, or you're a people pleaser. And so that's, a different thing. And so when we start to see, maybe that's what's leading us to this, same outcome, same ending every time, is that we just give and give and give endlessly to people that don't even deserve it, that haven't done anything to deserve that, haven't don't treat us well, or we give endless chances to. um you know the people, wait, I'm sorry, I lost track of what I was saying. Oh, we may think we're so kind, but actually it's like a people pleasing thing. And so that could be the other reason that this is happening. And really, you're teaching somebody how to, what they can get away with in that way. And oh, I remember now. I'm so sorry. I lost my train of thought. The In dating somebody, you don't actually see them for who they are, and they start to think something like, you could replace me with anybody and you would still just be gung ho about it. It's not actually, you're not actually in love. You're not actually infatuated or interested in me. You're interested in the idea of a relationship and of love. And so, and that may not be like explicitly said to you or communicated, but there's energy that's picked up on, of like, this person's very agreeable. They have no personality of their own. They're everything. They're so willing to just put, there's no agency. You don't show up for yourself and put your foot down. And that's one of the most attractive qualities in a person, is somebody who is confident and who cares about themselves and takes action to assure that they're respected, that they're not disrespected, that they are, that what their voice matters, what they say matters, and somebody who values themselves. That's very much an attractive quality that we are drawn to as humans. So take that into consideration. And I know that's probably one of the hardest blows to hear, is that like, oh, because I haven't given that value to myself, and I've been so generous and kind and just continued to give in an effort to receive it back in some way. That's what landed me in these situations where people treated me so poorly. That's effed up. That's messed up. It's like, yeah, it is actually. And I'm so sorry, but you have to think of it this way. It's like, and it sucks that nobody ever taught us this from the beginning, and some of us got to figure it out on the way. But it's like going to a bank account, going to a bank and trying to take money out of your negative overdrawn account. You can't you can't take money out of an account that's overdrawn and that has a negative balance. You just can't. So that's kind of how it is. Energetically, that's how it is. You can't try to gain love and admiration and people, validation from people when you are doing it from a space of lack. When you're doing it from a space of saying, I am in need of this because I'm lacking. I'm desperate for it, and I would do anything for it. Like that's where that energy is returned back to you. The lack, the feeling of like a person abandoning you or not appreciating you, that the lack is returned because that's where you're operating from. You know, if you spend money on a negative bank account, you're going to get an overdraft fee, and it's going to add you to the more negative. Like that's what that. So you got to get the bank account positive, and you do that by valuing yourself, having a voice and an opinion, and communicating your needs, and putting your foot down, setting boundaries, being more upfront. A lot of times we don't say something because we're like, well, I don't know how they would feel, and I don't really want to like scare them off. No, 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 no. You can't play a role. You can't play a character. You're gonna be outed eventually. You can't just play a character. You have to be yourself, and you can't. If you're not yourself, it will eventually show through, and you'll also feel resentment for it. So do say something, and if it upsets them, then great. That's good information to know that they're not the person that you're going to be compatible with. The sooner you find that out, the better, because like no time wasted. There's people that drag people through these and I'm so sorry to anybody this happens to, but there's people that like after many many years they realize this person just has never been serious, has been just dragging them along, and it's like, wow, you value my life, my one life I have, so little that you wasted 6 years of it. It's like, thanks a lot, like, but then again, that's a negative way to look at it. There's always some sort of silver lining, positive lesson to pull from it, and I think that's what you need to find at this time, Dana, because it does look like there's a light at the end of the tunnel, and you've been able to keep hope. You have an intuitive message coming to you. You will receive clarity after this. You have to let the tower fall. Um, and then something's gonna click for you, okay? And it's gonna go back. It's gonna go back, and you're gonna re-examine the resentment you've held on to and how it's been poisoning your body and your outlook and your mind. What's the cliche statement? Resentment is like drinking poison and hoping the other person dies. It's like, I say it like this: you're carrying around this backpack and somebody else did something hurtful to you. So somebody else took this rock, this big boulder, and they put it in your backpack. That's the hurtful thing they did, right? And now you've got this big weight, and they left. They skipped away happily, right? And they left you with this big weight rock backpack in your backpack, right? Um, you don't have to carry that around. You don't have to. You're not required to. So you can just take that and put it down, and not. It really is truly that simple. I'm not saying you just get over it. I'm not saying that. I'm saying choose. It's a choice. Choose to put it down and let it go, because it didn't mean anything about you, and you don't have to carry around the weight and the burden of other people's poor choices that you didn't have any control over. Okay? Please remind yourself of that and tell yourself that. You do not have to carry around the weight of other people's poor choices that chose to undervalue you and to depreciate you, and all these other things. Okay, that's not yours to carry. That's not your journey. Your journey is to see that you are valuable and to move to spaces where you have to navigate your emotional world and move to spaces where you are welcomed and where people do see that. But also, it's your job to communicate that and to stand in that power. Okay, you've handed your power away. and you need to take it back. It's time for you to take it back. That's all I have for you this evening. All right. So, thank you for joining us and welcome to the show. This is the Free Psychic Readings with just Matty today. Debbie's not here. So, if you're new here, we do this every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You must be 18 or older to receive a reading. We do not do medical or legal. Please don't put anybody else's personal information. And in the description, all of these rules are laid out. It's random, so we just randomly picking. Let's see. Let's see. I'm gonna pick They Wolf Carry. They Wolf Carry. Okay. Christine, I was gonna pick you, but you put the person's name still. You can't put anyone else's name but your own. So you could say, am I gonna get the job that my friend offered me? You know? You can put just can't put anybody else's name other than yours. I'm so sorry. But possibly could pick you if you resubmit the question. For They Wolf Corey, I think I said They Wolf Carry. I apologize. They Wolf Corey. Can I have a reading? I was wondering about a friend we can call I. Why does she seem to avoid me, even though I apologized? Well, I don't know. Or maybe that's an L. Is that a capital I or a lowercase L? Either way. Let's see. They Wolf Corey. Three of Wands came out. It's an I. Okay, thank you for clarifying that. Three of Wands came out. The Eight of Pentacles came out. Eight of Materials in this deck. Hold on. And the Muse of Inspiration, which is the equivalent of the King of Wands. And the Queen of Emotions. I'm just going to say it, which is the Queen of Emotions is the Queen of Cups. I'm just going to say it up front. I believe you wanted more than a friendship with this person. They weren't, let's see, maybe they weren't so as interested. Or maybe, okay, hold on. Maybe there's some sort of, okay. There was a disruption that happened with this person where they're not communicating. So you've apologized, but they're not communicating and fully. So what's really important is, like I was saying it earlier in the show, is that scratch the part I said about the first part. I was misreading this, but either way, I said this earlier in the show. People, I'll have a very unique experience and perspective, right? So what you say and what you do and what your actions, you know, what they mean to you and what certain mannerisms mean and what, you know, that doesn't translate to the next person the same exact way. And so people, that's why perception is reality, right? And so people can understand things in very drastically different ways, which is why communication is so important in friendships and relationships, because what that means to you, 100 people can be in one room and hear the same sentence and 100 different meanings, 100 different interpretations just happened. And they may take that on and one person may go tell their family, oh my gosh, there's this wonderful play about blah, 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 or this wonderful speech about yada, 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 right? And the other person might come home and be like, it was just like this really very heavy, sad, like it had just such a deep message that, and you know, it's like, okay, that's two entirely different stories, right? That these different sets of people got, but they both saw the same thing and heard the same thing. So anyway, communication, so important. So that's the issue here. You've apologized, but this person didn't hear you. They didn't hear you in the way that what you thought you were communicating to them is not what they understood. And somebody could even stand there and tell you, I understand, but they don't understand it in the way that you want them to understand or the way you're understanding something. Not always, at least. And that's where the communication's got to get a little better. So if you see this person's avoiding you, it's because they have not spoken up about something, or they have misunderstood you in some way. And I know it may be hurtful, but I wouldn't take it too personally because how do I say this? People, I'm really getting this strong message here that this person is not communicating properly, and so they I'm of the personal belief that people, have you ever heard the saying closed mouths don't get fed? So it's like you can't. I saw this okay, I saw this tweet one time where somebody said people are so quick to call you out for your when you change up on them or your changed behavior, but they failed to see all the things that they did that made you change your behavior. And it's like, okay, while that's while while that's kind of true, you also can't just expect somebody to know that they're upsetting you. You can't expect somebody to just have your perspective and to know all the little things they did to make you change your behavior because they didn't notice they noticed your behavior was changing, but they had no idea why. And they were blindsided when you suddenly, I'm not talking about you, but when you suddenly were like, I don't want to be your friend anymore, you're not a good friend, and this and that. And you're like, where's this coming from? And it's like, well, all the little things along the way they never said anything about. That's not fair. That's not a trustworthy person to be around. That's not a good friend. Is like if you're not, you know what I mean? It's like, oh my gosh, you're misstepping in all these ways, and I'm not going to tell you. I'm just going to watch you fall and burn, and just then hold it all against you in the end, and not ever say that anything along the way. It's like that's really messed up. So that's kind of in a way what this person has done. There's many things along the way they didn't communicate, and then when something happened, now they've got all this resentment, and they're not communicating fully, and you can't change that about a person. And it's something, it's their journey, you know to figure that out. And I think it would be best, for it's best for you to stay in perspective right now. You might have communication coming through because the Knight of Voices or the Knight of Wands came here. I'm sorry, Knight of Swords. But that usually, while it does talk about communication, it also usually is indicative of an argument. So I wouldn't touch it. I would leave it where it's at. You've apologized. You've left the ball in their court. You can leave the light on even and say, you know what, address it directly. Say, um, I feel like you may be avoiding me a bit, and that, is unfortunate and does it is hard for me. However, I would like you to know that I do care about you and am here to talk about whatever's going on or whatever you're feeling. If you're Whenever you're ready for it, whenever you feel open to it, just send that message and let it be. Let it be. And that way you've left the light on, you left the door open, you left the ball in their court. You've done all you can do so you can let it go. What is That's like on the on SZA, if you like SZA, her album Control, her grandma on that like voicemail. She's like, I can finally let it go. Because you've done all you can do. There's nothing more you can do. You can't force a person to excuse me, I'm so sorry, to act, behave, or be a certain way. So Um, I will say this though. It does look like there's an opportunity for healing here. As long as this conversation that is going to happen doesn't turn into this fight back and forth, this spat. You want to approach it like the problem's the problem, not the person. The person's not the problem. The problem's the problem. And I'll give you a very, very useful tip. Avoid the semantics and the technicalities. Avoid the surface of talking about like you did this and you said this and you said that. No. Get down to the feelings because that's where it's all at. That's where everything is driven from. We only act, behave, and say and do certain things because of how we're feeling. That's what it is. So that's what's driving our behavior. That's what's driving our communication is what we're feeling. And so if you just skip over all the you did this and you did that, it's like that's bound to get you guys in defensive mode where you're going back and forth and you're both being defensive and nothing gets solved. So skip all that and get right down to feeling. I felt X when Y happened, and I would like to know what your perspective is on that and wonder how we could have maybe handled it better. You know, that is a totally different conversation than the first one. So just try and take the high road, skip over all the semantics and get down to the root of it all, which is your emotions. Okay. Um, I can't tell you whether or not this goes in your favor, but I can say that there's an opportunity. There's an opportunity for it too. Um, it just all depends on how the communication's handled. Okay, that's all I have for you this evening. Okay, so you guys, it's over on the time. I greatly appreciate everybody joining us or me. It's usually me and Debbie, but we're here every Monday, Wednesday, Friday Pacific Standard Time at 6:30 p.m. So it's 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, okay? So I'll be back. I won't be here this Wednesday though. So we're skipping Wednesday because Debbie's not here, but I'll be here Friday, Fluid Friday. We're gonna play What's in Your Cup. We're gonna have a Friday Feuds poll. So come back on Friday at 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time to party with me, okay? And get some free readings. I'm so sorry if I didn't get to you today. It's random selection. So come back on Friday and let me know that I didn't get to you. Try and get here early, and I'll do my best to get to you then, okay? So once again, thank you so much for joining. I truly appreciate all of you. My heart goes out to you, and have a lovely evening. All right, see you Friday. Bye.